Humongous what?
Humongous what? Is that sexual harassment? Is that what you...
That's not how you open a can of pickles. You have to pop it, ladies and gentlemen. You have to pop it.
Hillary Clinton. I will be voting for Hillary Clinton.
We need to build a wall.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Middle Minded. I'm Christian.
I'm Alex.
And thank you so much for joining us in another episode, spending another Friday with us.
Another Friday, you know? Be all nice and cozy wherever you are.
Cozy?
Cozy. Yeah. I hear other podcast people say that, so I might as well give it a try.
Sure, if you have a coffee, it's Friday night. Instead of going out, listen to us, please.
Listen to us, yeah, you know.
What are we talking about today, Alex?
Today we're talking about an article posted on the NBCnews.com called Border Agent Searches of Americans' Cell Phones Spark Lawsuit.
Sparks a lawsuit.
Sparks a lawsuit. And it was written by E.D. Couchy? I'm sorry if
We apologize.
Yeah, I apologize if that's pronounced wrong, but it's spelled Cauchi for those of you.
I bet it's Couchy.
Probably Couchy. Couch.
The article will...
Couch. Sorry, go ahead.
The article will be linked in the description of the podcast, wherever you may be listening to this, either on YouTube, Google Play, iTunes, SoundCloud, wherever it is. Wherever you're listening to us, please just hit that subscribe and join in the conversation down in the comments, I guess. And if you're on iTunes, if you guys could leave us a rating, good or bad, they all help. But let us know how we're doing, I guess. So what's this about? Do you want me to do that, or?
Yeah, go ahead. Sure.
So basically, an advocacy group is suing the Department of Homeland Security to release details about every time the U.S. border officers have searched travelers' electronic devices over the past 5 years. Apparently, U.S. border officers are unconstitutional, and I'm quoting this, by the way, are unconstitutionally violating both the First and Fourth Amendments by demanding the travelers present their cell phone for searches. Apparently, there's 25 cases of this happening. The article mentions that 23 out of these 25 were all Muslim, and there's a suggestion of profiling. The spokesperson for Custom denies any accusations of profiling travelers. Now, right off the bat, I personally, after reading the article and thinking about it, I don't really think it violates the First Amendment. If we'd like to deal with that issue first.
Yeah, I mean, freedom of speech, we have the First Amendment pulled up here, and it says, you know, basically that, you know, have to respect an establishment of religion, prohibiting free exercise.
Of the religion.
Yeah, of the religion, freedom of speech, all that kind of stuff.
Or press.
Yeah, or press.
I don't think...
the right to assembly and all that.
I don't think by them taking your cell phone violates the First. I would agree it could violate the Fourth. Now, I'll talk about, I guess, sort of my point on it, but, like... The Fourth is, you know, the right for people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue but upon probable cause. That's the key to the Fourth, is probable cause. Now, based on this article, we don't have a whole lot of information as to, you know, the probable cause for these searches. All we know is that there's a lawsuit because 23 out of 25 are Muslim people are getting their phones literally searched. Like, people are taking their phones and going through them.
Well, the right? 25 who were, yeah, but the 25 were just the ones who reported. So yeah. This could be happening to more people, not just Muslims, but I guess it was mostly Muslims that were that felt the need to report it, and understandably, because, you know, searching phones is, I guess I kind of see why they may want to do it.
Well, people can make bombs out of anything.
True.
I have a professor, and he was forced to leave his laptop in his luggage bag. Like, he couldn't have his laptop with him on the plane anymore.
Oh, that's
like
weird.
You had to keep it in the back.
Well, I think I saw what they were searching here was just
they're searching the
software.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
I think they're searching for his cell phone. Also, what are they looking at on your cell phone? Like, they don't have time to go through all your personal information, you know? They're probably just opening it up, if it's an iPhone, scrolling through all your apps, looking to see what kind of apps you got. And if there's anything fishy, they might investigate. But I don't think they're opening up your Snapchat and taking a selfie, you know?
Yeah, you know.
And so I don't really think that's an invasion of privacy.
Well, I mean, if they're looking through your phone, right? Like you have, sensitive text messages. If you're one of those freaky, kinky people, you may have some weird pictures.
Freaky deaky.
Freaky deaky. You may have kinky isn't a swear word though.
No, it's not.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I was just saying freaky deaky because I like it.
Freaky deaky. Okay. Oh yeah, you like that, don't you?
Freaky deaky.
But no, I don't. I could see it as an invasion of privacy because the way I see it, I don't want to give my phone to some stranger and have him looking through all my stuff. Now, I don't have anything to hide.
That's my point, is that if you don't have anything to hide, or if you're not doing anything wrong, you should have no problem.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like, personally right now, I mean, I'm not doing anything wrong. If someone wanted to see my phone, they can see my phone. I'm not doing anything that could get me in any kinds of trouble. And if you are doing that, something that get types of trouble, then you have other issues,
True.
If you're fearful of the law, and that's why you don't want to give up your phone or device.
Yeah,
then you have other issues outside giving up your device.
If you don't have anything to hide, then you shouldn't have anything to worry about. That kind of thing. I understand that point for sure. But I do understand that there is sensitive information on there. There could be even things like, credit card numbers or social security numbers.
Exactly.
All that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say is I can understand why they would be upset if, your phone is getting searched when you're going...
By a random security agent.
Yeah, by a random security agent. The other thing is, although the article doesn't straight out say it, I think they're trying to kind of make a bit of a point that it's some sort of bias towards Muslims.
Yeah, they don't actually go out and say this. They just sort of made the point that 23 out of 25 were all Muslims. And, that one's a really hard one for me because, I've only flown once in my life, so I've actually haven't been to an airport my whole life. So I can't say what it's like, to go through one. I think that all Americans have sort of a unconscious bias. I think just everything that's happening with all the terrorism and things, I think it's probably necessary for people to get sort of uneasy around. Is it okay to start just randomly picking people off? Okay, you're wearing what's a hijab? I think that's how you pronounce it.
I don't know what they're called.
I think it's a hijab. If you just start picking people with a hijabs and be like, okay, checking them, I don't really think that is warranted.
Yeah.
But you also have to realize that there's no book on how to combat terrorism or book on how to make sure that we're protected. We're trying to figure this out.
Yeah, I mean, and I think because there's going to be the people out there who are like, yeah, there's this guy wrote this book, this guy wrote this. Well, I think the point of that meaning that there's not really a correct way to do it. So yeah, I do see that point where, it's, you can't just be picking, anyone that looks, who looks Muslim, and because they're Muslim, start saying, start giving them extra searches because you think they might be a terrorist or something. I don't think that. I think that's racist and or biased.
Yeah, I just think that the issue is that we don't have a good system. It seems like the terrorists are always one step ahead of us in terms of bombs or weapons, and that we just are paranoid. We're paranoid. After everything that's happened, it's like, how can you not be? And everybody's just sort of getting frustrated, and they have a right to be frustrated. But you just have to, I feel like everybody just sort of needs to, calm down and just realize that, what's going on is unfair and not cool. But, what else are we supposed to do? Yeah, what do you want us to do?
It's an unfair situation because, terrorists are scaring people. They're getting their job done, and it's making it hard for everyone else because, we're caught in that really tricky issue of, are you going too far and being too biased in security, but when are you just taking the necessary measures to make sure everyone is safe?
I mean, the fact is, if either all of us spend 20 minutes getting on a plane, each individual person, and you have to wait a whole day to get on a plane so that every person is equally checked, or there's some people that are going to be taken out. And I think you also have to think business. I mean, this is also a business, not just safety. This is a company, an industry, and they have to make money. How they make money is selling plane tickets and having people fly. Yeah. Well, if having to go through everybody has to get equal fair searches, 20 minutes, and you can only have one flight a day. That's terrible for business.
Yeah, that would be pretty bad.
And so that's sort of how the way I think of it too, is that like it sucks that some people get singled out, and I can't speak to getting singled out. Of course, I've never had to experience that, and I'm sure it sucks. But ask yourself when you're about to complain, I guess, is what do you expect them to do, or what do you want? Do you have a solution?
Yeah, because they're security has to be done. It's just too dangerous right now because terrorism is a problem. But on the other hand, it's hard not to be biased. Now, what I will say is, Muslims definitely aren't necessarily terrorists. They need to be checking everyone, and I see why there could be, why there is the bias where people are trying to make Muslims seem like the terrorists and picking them out in airports, and that's
the
wrong,
radicals are saying ban all Muslims. I think Trump is sort of trying to get a ban on all of them, and I don't really personally think that that's necessary.
Yeah.
I don't think I think honestly a travel ban is not necessary. A travel reform and security reform is necessary. We need to figure out how to properly ID these people. What is the proper way to ID them? What is the best procedure for making sure we're safe in a timely and efficient manner? And that's the issue. Because currently, we're sort of like, we have our scanners, right? There's an X-ray machine that they sort of go through.
which is which is a whole controversy in itself. The full body scan. I know some people don't like that, but that's a different. That's a different.
I've never heard anything about that.
Yeah, and just some people don't like it because I guess they feel like it's kind of invading their privacy, I guess.
You're going through a scanner.
Yeah, I don't. Different day, different discussion for a different
Is it
day.
invasion of privacy when you walk through the, when you walk through like Walmart out the doors, they have that thing to make sure you're not stealing anything?
Well, this is like a full body.
Okay,
X-ray
but it's
scanner,
essentially doing the same thing.
It's not the Walmart thing. Well, okay, but the Walmart scanners aren't really like scanning you. They're scanning like for barcodes, not guitar, barcodes, where they're trying to see that if you've stolen product. But sensors that the airport security would use are going to check for metal or for some sort of weapon.
I think like flying in general is just the most tedious thing because it is like, and it's just so. You have to put so much faith in the people working there too, because there's these people that you've never met and they check your whole baggage. You give them your stuff. Here, take care of my stuff, and I hope that it gets to me when I land.
Yeah,
and that's basically it. And you're sort of signing your stuff away, so that alone is sketchy. You know.
And I've, on the contrary, I've flown quite a bit.
Yeah, tell them your experience. I mean, you can read our bios again. I forget to mention a lot. We have sort of biographies about ourselves, sort of little descriptions of where we're coming from.
It's on our website. Yeah, on our website.
middlemindedSite.wordpress.com. I'm pretty sure it's linked somewhere.
Yeah, it'll be on there. Yeah, middlemindedSite.wordpress.com. That's it.
But tell them where you're coming from. You have way more experience in this than I do.
Basically, I grew up. If you haven't read my bio, I grew up all over the world. I've flown several times, and I've been flying since I was a kid. So like a baby. So 1999, pretty much. I've been flying, and frequently. And in my experience, it's been terrible. Flying in airports, getting to places is a mess right now. My family and I, a long time ago, probably about 2004, 2005 maybe, we were flying from, it was either Kyrgyzstan to the U.S. or the U.S. to Kyrgyzstan. I don't remember which one, but we were stuck in O'Hare. And we may have been trying to go to like Tennessee or something, or go back to Kyrgyzstan, who knows. But we were stuck in O'Hare, and we were stuck in O'Hare for something like 15 hours.
I believe
something ridiculous like that. It was terrible. Flights kept on getting canceled, and we finally, got a hotel to stay in. And right as we got to the hotel, they called us back and said, like, oh, your flight's here. We get back to the airport, flight was canceled. Airports are a mess. Now, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, like, what's probably been the one experience you remember in terms of being checked? Do you have any?
Well, the funny one that I remember, did you ever see those things in the dollar store, like those really huge erasers?
Yes.
That said for big mistakes?
Yes.
I had one of those in my backpack.
Oh no.
It's going through the X-ray, and the person looking at the computer, seeing what's in the X-ray. Okay, so basically, the person looking through the computer, looking at in my backpack, several people just keep looking at my backpack like there's something iffy in it. There's something weird.
What is that big brick thing in his bag?
Yeah, they finally, pull us aside and say, we need to check your bag more securely. And they've got some other guys coming. They've got like 3 or 4 guys coming out there. They're intricately like taking my bag out and stuff. Finally, they pull out the eraser, and they all go like, oh.
The irony for big mistakes.
Yeah, they thought it was a bomb.
Of course.
They thought I had a bomb in there, and they were like...
And how old do you think you were?
I remember, I got it. I must have been 10.
Oh my gosh.
About 10, yeah. I was going to Taiwan.
A 10-year-old with that's being questioned for bombs.
Hey, at least at that time around 2007, they weren't as biased because they interviewed they took apart a white middle class blonde blue-eyed little kid's family. I mean, so that's
it's just that. I guess my point in talking about this is that the radical, the very left, very right, I would say the Republicans want the travel ban. They say, get the Muslims out of here. That's terrible. And then the other side of it is, having sanctuary cities, which we might talk about later. And I guess like what I'm trying to say is the middle way of thinking about it is like, just stop and think. What do you expect us to do? We can't kick everybody out. We can't do that.
Yeah,
we can't hide people either. That's illegal. If there's a law saying these people have to leave, I think it's illegal for you to hide them. But again, separate issue. So just stop and think. What do you expect them to do? And you just need to sort of realize is that there's nothing we can do. It's an uncomfortable situation. It's a sucky situation. And you just sort of have to grit your teeth and go through with it, They're not, I don't think, at least in airports, I've never heard of someone being thrown to the ground and being like, okay, we need to search your stuff and I'm going to throw you to the ground first. It's always like, we're going to have to pull you aside and waste some of your time. But it's not usually forceful.
As far as I haven't heard of any events. Now, I have to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if something like that happened. Not necessarily just in the U.S. government, but in like any government out there. I would not be surprised if someone got thrown to the ground over that, but I haven't heard of any cases. It's never happened to me or anyone I've known.
It's mostly just an inconvenience.
Yeah, it's mostly just an inconvenience. Worst case scenario, you'll lose your flight, which is really annoying. Don't get me. Trust me, I've been there. It's very
I think that
annoying.
they should compensate you then.
Yeah, well, I think a couple times we got like if we missed our flight for something beyond our control, either the airline or the security would give us like either an upgrade in seats or they'd give us access to the lounge.
How about this? How about if you get pulled aside, okay, you are profiled essentially, all right? It's not said that you're profiled, but you're basically profiled, right?
It has its uses if it's used fairly improperly.
You get pulled aside. You get pulled aside and they want to search your stuff and you miss your flight. It's been an hour. Now it's a complete waste of time. I think that you should get like $100 gift card or this flight's free, like we're sorry for wasting your time. You clearly did nothing wrong. This was a misunderstanding. Fly for free, and if you are getting searched, just be like, go ahead, search my stuff. That's, I think part of the problem arises because people just fight. Why are you searching my phone? You can't search my phone. Just let them search it. I think you'll be better off and things will go by quicker if you just be like, okay, here's my phone. If they find something that they don't like, you'll figure it out later. But the likeliness, if you're not doing anything wrong, again, you'll be in and out.
Yeah, you don't have anything to worry about if you're not doing anything wrong. So, but you know, all these problems are very difficult problems, and we know we're trying the best of what we can do, but everyone needs to help out. Everyone has to share their ideas. Everyone's got to figure out what they think is right and try and find the balance between it all.
Exactly. So again, we encourage you all to join in the discussion. We'd like to thank you so much for listening. And if you have any points or any articles you want to share with us, feel free to either link them down below or visit our website. There's a little contact page and you can send us stuff privately.
And we will respond.
If you have any stories, we'd really like to hear your stories on searches and stuff like that. We try to respond and everything. Again, if you guys could, leave a rating, hit the subscribe button. New shows every Friday. We really appreciate it.
Thank you and have a good one.
See ya.